Hey, I'm back. So I thought that this would be interesting as a sequel to the first video I've made, which was about how to make your own jump rings. So I will put the link in the description box if you wish to see the first part of this, because here I will show you how I usually make my own handmade chains. So as I was mentioning, there are numerous ways to do this. You also have to decide whether it's worth the cost and time expense, or if you would rather buy ready-made chains. So here the way I'm going to proceed is after I made the jump rings, formed them. So those are, I used 2 mm round wire sterling silver with an inner diameter from 8 that is 8 milliliters, no, millimeters, and there are 10 there, and I've made two separate rows to show you they're all open, but the one on the bottom I've already closed because I'm going to solder them with a hard solder, and then I'm gonna add the in-between links that are still open, but you'll see how I process. So first step, after I've soldered the bottom line, the bottom row with a hard solder, I will shape them because I don't want them round, I want them oval shaped. So I'm using the plastic mallet not to mar the metal. I'm using a simple plain plier to hold it and to get an approximate shape I want. So this part is pretty fairly simple. You just have to put the right amount of pressure, and you will just repeat this on all the jump rings you need for the length, the total length you will need. So I'm just showing you those two on the screen, and I'm going to do in my little corner the others so that I will gain some time. And now I will show you how I do the soldering. It's the same process for the main jump rings I've previously made, but here I will show you how it works to assemble. I'm sorry, today it's a bit hard to assemble all the pieces together. So I've made my oval shaped. I took the round shaped one that are not yet formed, and I just added my links, and I'm using here medium solder. You could use hard solder, but I recommend if you're beginning in jewelry making to use medium, because it will be sturdy enough and it will be easier for you to melt the metal without having any without taking any risks of desoldering the other links that have been previously made. So here I'm using the biggest tip of my blowtorch because I'm running out of gas, so I'm just finishing off my bottle of gas, but you could use the medium tip for this. Here, the way I did this is using the third hand, as simple as that. And the way why I put it this way is because the pliers will also help to shield from the heat, prevent the heat from going lower, because we want the heat to be driven, especially on the place we're about to solder the jump ring. We don't want to heat anything else. So you move around as usual, and you wait till the solder is flowing nice and easy, and you will see when it's done, just like that. So that is the same thing. You just have to repeat the same process over and over until you have reached the desired length for your chain. For this project, I'm doing a chain for a bracelet, so I can already tell you by having finished it that I had to add other extra length because 10 jump rings weren't enough to be able to do it. And also I want to mention that I'm doing oval shaped links, so it's okay, but if you need to use round, it has to be super round, so you have to form the pieces, the jump rings, very well. Here I'm also showing you a little tip because I'm going to pickle it to rinse and wash off the residues of heat on the metal to keep on going, and I use hooks that I make out of brass, because remember, in the pickled pot we don't want to use anything and pour any ferrous metals in it because it will not be good. So this is how I use my hooks to be able to dip it and make it easier for me to catch them when they're done. So here is the result after cleaning them for a couple of minutes in the pickle pot in the hot water. And I had shown you the wrong way, but that's how I hang them on the hook. And here I'm also going to show you how I finish up this, because like I was mentioning, I want to use oval, I want to make oval shapes, and so I need to squeeze the round ones, the interlinks that are still round. So this time I'm going to have to use a smaller plier because this is too big. So I'm using the other ones, the nose plier. And same procedure, you just take one in. I try to put on the top the part where I've just soldered. I don't know why I do that. I think you could do whatever you want. And then you just have to do the same thing with the mallet, bam bam bam, till you get the right shape. And like I was mentioning briefly last time when I was on the soldering part, if you want to make round links, they have to be super round at the beginning. So when you start processing the jump ring making, you have to make them extremely round. But if not, you can just keep going like that. And here I'm going to stop there. I'm going to pre-polish and finish off my polishing with the files too, using my pre-polished pads that I use for absolutely every works. And I'll come back with another video to show you